Communication is a very important aspect in your professional as well as personal walks of life. Effective communication helps you to perform the basic functions in an efficient manner. Communication bridges the gap between people through proper flow of information and helps to bring them closer. By putting an efficient communication system in place, the management would be able to boost the employee morale. Here is Ms. Susan, who wants to order a birthday cake for her daughter. She orders the cake in a shop called Cake House. She was in a hurry as she was getting late to pick her son up from school. In such a haste, she just tells the name of her which she liked to be embossed on the cake without telling the spelling of her daughter's name. The receptionist at the cake house also failed to ask for the correct spelling. So when the cake arrived on the birthday, her daughter was so excited to see the gorgeous cake which was prepared in his favorite flavor and decorated beautifully. But as soon as she looked at the cake, the incorrect spelling of her name made her upset. Susan also felt sorry and she called up the cake house. There was a heated argument between her and the receptionist. At last, she told her that she won't buy cakes from their shop thereafter and slammed down the phone. Her daughter felt even more sad as she would miss her favorite delicacies from the shop. Such an incident would have been easily avoided had there been a proper communication between Susan and the receptionist. Communication in general means exchanging information through speech, writing or any other medium. Every communication involves at least one sender, a message and a receiver. There are various types of communication as depicted here. Let us look at each of them in detail. Slasher, such as words or symbols. Channel refers to the manner in which a message is sent. Channels of communication include speaking, writing, video, audio, electronic such as emails, text messages and faxes, and even nonverbal, such as body language. The target or receiver of a communication is referred to as the receiver. The receiver should decode the message, which means mentally processing the message that is in words or symbols and transforming it into ideas and thoughts. If a receiver can't decode, then the message fails. For example, sending a message in a foreign language that is not understood by the receiver probably will result in decoding failure. Sometimes, a receiver will give the sender back a message. This message is called feedback. Environmental distractions. This refers to the barriers that interfere with effective communication. There are various levels of communication. Level 1 is intrapersonal communication, which means communicating with one's own self. Level 2 refers to the interpersonal communication that happens between two persons. Level 3 is for group communication. Level 4 for organizational communication, both internal and external. And Level 5 is for mass communication. The 7 C's of effective communication: clear, concise, correct, concrete, coherent, complete, courteous. The 7 C's of communication discussed can be used as a checklist for all communication. There are 10 barriers to effective communication which are listed here. Physical barriers. Proved to be the biggest hindrance to effective communication. Includes physical factors like tiredness, hearing, sight or speech problems, technical problems, etc. Cultural diversity. Globalization has led to people working in different countries, with different races of people having different cultural backgrounds. Language barriers. As people ought to work in different countries, they may have to work with people speaking different languages. Emotional distractions. Emotions often hold people from expressing their honest feedback. Environmental distractions. Involves disturbances in the environment that create distortions in effective communication. Lack of feedback. Lack of proper feedback may lead to misinterpretation, selective perception, etc. Too much information. As per the saying, too much of anything is good for nothing. Too much information may lead to distortions and misinterpretations. Perceptions. Perceptions and attitude may differ from person to person. Messages that are not conveyed properly by the sender may lead to selective perception by the receiver. Gender. Gender-related traditions may be a hindrance to effective communication as it often leads to mental stress, focus shifting. Medium. The medium through which the message is communicated should be as much short as possible for the message to be conveyed properly without distortions.